Mario is able? The second one. Don't sit on any discords, but you'll stick around. Alright. Mario is questionable. Mario is MARO. Judge is cool. Author is pander. Oh, definitely. Don't sit on any discords. Okay, is there a good way to contact you then? Because at some point I'll need to message you about like scheduling to figure out when that is. Oh god, Mario is you. Koopa is defeat. Wall is stop. Grass is open. Fire is defeat. Spiny is defeat. Cliff is stop. Bomb is defeat. Okay, I understand these rules. These are basic normal Mario rules. I missed the obvious there. The questionable. Ooh, okay, it's doing the bit where it kind of twitches around. Good EX animation. I actually got this mixed up with a different level when discussing it with some people on stream. Right, bombs attract to Mario's face. What's up, Kappa? How you doing? Yeah, there's 2 Baba is you levels. Which is bizarre when you really get down to it. I learned my lesson the hard way. I fully expect the rules to change shortly. Well. Didn't properly appreciate these animations when you played it. Good to look at it again. Yeah, it's actually really nice. Like, because in Baba Is You, it's got that kind of, like, flash baked animation, if that makes sense. I watched a really cool video, PowerPoint, I don't know how to describe it. Let me set my lives to a large number, because apparently that's going to happen. Just about Flash in general, especially the state of it circa, like, 2023. And it was discussing that technique that people use to make wobbly lines that seem to be everywhere in Flash at one point. And it turns out it's just an effect that's really easy to do. Sort of a quantization over time thing, where if you just applied the same sort of filter over and over, you got the desired effect. It was a really cool video essay. Definitely would recommend if I knew where to find it again. Flash is really cool. It's a vector animation format. It's the only one as far as I know. I think SVG could do this technically, and you could write your own, but it's the only one I'm aware of. Like, certainly as a security type person, I can say, you know, oh yes, Flash has terrible security implications and all that, but at the end of the day, nothing quite ever worked like Flash. It was really cool. Really cool. Just something about being able to, like, move an entire game or animation around in less than 5 megabytes. And even now, when you, like, look at Flash animations on YouTube, it's not really the same experience. The lines are just clean, even if it is at 10K resolution or whatever. Though I did find out really cool. There's a person who made a Flash animation that I really loved. He actually made a lot of good Flash animations back in the day. And it turns out that he's still active and busy doing things. And actually released a game on Steam a few years back. Not too many years, like 2 years back. Which I'm mildly interested in playing just because it was made by him. Japanese dude, so I don't actually know what the game's about. But you know. One of those nice small world things. Or at least, nice to know he's still creating things, since I enjoyed his creative output, you know, back in the day. H. What game, what author? It's in Japanese, and his name is either Sakamoto or RSF. Depending upon, I should read the instructions. I have it open in my list of stream ideas, which is not helpful, I will admit. If you want to see it, okay, here we go. Bomb is defeat. Koopa is defeat. Grass is stop. Nudge is... Okay, that doesn't mean anything. Oh, wait, hold up. Oh, God, I can't read some of this text. Wall is defeat. Spiny is defeat. Mario is you. Something is open, but I can't read the text above it. I can see it. I can see it, but I can't read it. It's like Curliff is open. Right. Wall is defeat. What was fire? Fire better not be defeat. Cliff. Thank you. Fire is nudge. I don't know what nudge means. Ah, that is a nudge. Definitely a nudge. Can't find him. I'm not surprised. This was not exactly a common thing. Definitely if you leave me a note in a Discord, I will leave you a link to something relevant tomorrow. But it's not something I can look up and give adequate context for while streaming. His magnum opus... Actually, I guess I can talk about his magnum opus. RSF was a Flash animator who made something called Sega Fantasy VI. He also made Sega Fantasy V, which is different, because it's the 5th one instead of the 6th one. But basically, a Flash parody of the final boss and a few other bits of Final Fantasy VI. And it took the internet by storm circa 2007, I think. Somebody went and translated it into English so the rest of the world could enjoy it, and posted the appropriate SWF files somewhere to make it actually work. It might be findable in Flashpoint still, I'm not entirely certain. It took like 8 Flash files. It was not a small thing. Oh, I'm so dead. You know, the funny thing is, it gives me flashbacks to the winter from last year more than Baba Is You in some ways. Ah, dang it. Think you did find it? Yeah. Sega Fantasy is an easy thing to look up. It has a decent capture on YouTube, but it's still not the same as, you know, opening up a Flash file. There we go. Well, I'm not dead, but it doesn't mean anything. I don't care for the bombs. I think that's really the problem I have with the stage, is the bombs just coming down. It's clearly a bomb generate. Why am I trying to do Kaizo things? Totally should go to sleep. Alright, sleep well, Howluta. I'll see you next time. Enjoy Sega Fantasy if that's what you watch for the next 30 minutes. Because it ain't short. It's really entertaining. And mildly, you know, it's fan servicey, but in that way that like Wreck-It Ralph was fan servicey. It's not like tits. It's, oh, that's a thing I know and think I enjoy. I personally love when they summon the man in green to fight the Sega Tower, or the was it Ultima Famicom? I forget. It's a very silly concept when you really get down to it. The man in green defeats Rob. Because really, everybody kind of wants to defeat Rob when you get down to it. No! Lag. I kind of feel it's appropriate. I guess I could switch to the man in green. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to playing Darkseid. Darkseid 2 definitely is more my wheelhouse. It's got FMV. I'm a big fan of FMV. Since you said the second one is better, that definitely makes me happy, because that was my next question was, which one is better? Which one would you prefer? Scheduling is also kind of awkward, like I said, because I'm going to be on the East Coast for a couple weeks and won't be able to play it on the Squiggle Box, because I'm not going to take a giant tower with me on an airplane. That is not a thing that's happening. As cool as it would be. I'm gonna take my, you know, backpack and luggage on the airplane. That's a lot easier. But at some point in mid-June, I need to contact you about scheduling for that, because I definitely feel my adventure game itch needing to be scratched. Let's go under it. You know, I really shouldn't overthink these sections. Oh god, this is hard to read. Okay, so stone is defeat. Probably cliff is stop. Moon is open, that's good. Mario is you. Fugu is Fugu, good to know. Wall is defeat. Grass is nudge. Coin is defeat. Am I missing implications? Fugu is defeat. That's good to know. Oh, and fire is defeat. Okay, I think I understand it. Coins and... no, coins are bad. Moons are okay. And grass is bouncy. Didn't really expect the Fugu to respawn. Coins are defeat. I don't want to touch... Oh, wait, no, those aren't coins. Those are grass. No, grass is defeat? Which one was defeat? Coins are defeat. It's a lot to keep in one's head at one time. Try this again. Grass. What is grass? Grass is nudge. Okay, so grass is fine. Coin is defeat. Fire is defeat. We will let the fire be. Okay. Oh, that's a coin. Okay, problem with my plan there. I wanted to spin jump onto the Fugu, but I didn't view the coin as a surface to land on, and it ate my spin jump, which prevented me from jumping on the Fugu. And that was caused by me holding right from the get-go. But yeah, last adventure game I played was in April. Much as I do love adventure games, I will say that the Team Extreme adventure game didn't really quite scratch the itch the way it needs to be scratched. I've been vaguely tempted to try out like some of the old, or some of the King's Quest remakes in the adventure game engine, whatever it's called. Because I like the King's Quest games, but I do think that the OG versions might be a bit much for playing or streaming. I'm not convinced that my typing speed is good enough for those types of games. Though I think in King's Quest, it pops up a box and is modal while you're typing, which wouldn't be nearly as bad. I don't know, maybe I'll give the first one a shot and then decide from there. The thing is the games actually have, like, voice acting and stuff. Apparently the dude who voice acts King Graham will just generally help out and voice act your project if you're, you know, relatively nice. I had to collect the moon. I make bad decisions. There was a really cool video by, I believe it's like One Eye Short, about Owl's Quest, which is a short Kingdom Hearts, King's Quest fan game starring Cedric the Owl, who no one really likes except children. But, like, the video totally goes off the rails, gets an interview with the guy who did Cedric's voice, has the guy who does King Graham's voice come on and voice parts of Owl's Quest, plays other games by the same man who made Owl's Quest. Like, the whole thing is actually just really endearing. Like, an absolute masterclass of, this is an interesting but weird topic video. Oh, that reminds me, I should have actually, like, watched the Summoning Salt video from yesterday. I think it was, like, speedrun history of Halo 2. Didn't even get to it. because I was tired after Dark Souls. I'm not convinced I should bother going for that. Dark Souls. Yeah, after I finished last night, I was not convinced. I was like, did I actually make progress? I really don't know. So I actually asked my little bro, like, hey, did I make progress? Oh, yeah, that works. Okay, I will put a note to that effect in a private location. Make sure I don't fuck that up. That's not the right Discord. And the secret thing. Perfect. I now have a note. In a secret location that is filled with tests and Speedy Catbot crashing. Because that's a thing Speedy Catbot does a lot. Now that I've been trying to make it into an actual Discord bot. Oh, but then I screwed that up. Close that. Look at the other one. Okay, good. Something about getting a PM on Twitch causes the area around the windows, or just the layout of the... Dang it, I need to focus there at some point. Basically, you've got your Stream Manager layout. If you get a Twitch PM, it causes the whole thing to scroll up like 12 pixels, and I don't know why. It feels like the kind of bug that they would be aware of, but it's been this way for like 2 or 3 years now, and you can't get rid of it without like a very hard reset. Like, it's a very awkward thing to have to deal with. Coins, right. But yeah, maybe I should report a bug. Suppose I should do that more often when I run into more obscure, irritating things. It'd probably be pretty smart to do. Not sure what my plan was. An hour ago somehow. Man. Yeah, I think that that Dark Souls has exposed a structural weakness in my idea of request a game thing, where some games will take a very long time, and there's just not much you can do about that. Like Desi's Final Fantasy II request, which is one I wanted to play. I've always kind of wanted to do the old school Final Fantasies. That took 9 6-ish hour sessions, so we're talking about 36-ish hours. Call it 35, just because I need to round down a little bit there. But even so, that's a long time. I suspect Dark Souls, of all the games that have been requested, will take the longest. They're not long sections. I need to stop overthinking this. Most other things in there I'm like either thinking are reasonable in length or will need to yeah, like reasonable in length or won't take terribly long. But Dark Souls is definitely a aberration in that list. And some of them are certainly like, oh, I will do that once. Nudge, right? Like, I'm not exactly convinced I want to play Rhythm Heaven to completion. I'm not really sure what that even means. Like, isn't Rhythm Heaven more like DDR than anything else? Like, you play it, and you eventually get really good at it and kind of go for high scores. It's kind of like requesting me to play Tetris. You have to get really good at Tetris for it to matter. Otherwise, you're just playing Tetris. And if I did end up playing, if someone did just request Tetris without any other like strings attached, I'd either play the NES Tetris or I'd play Cardcaptor Sakura Tetris for PS1 because it's actually really cool. And that game, unlike most Tetrises, actually has an end. I have screwed this up horribly. Jumping to the third plinth is not the right move. It's a game where you have to press inputs and correct timings. It's not really DDR. You unlock more stages as you go. Okay, interesting. Like, I know very little about Rhythm Heaven outside of, like, parody videos I've seen. Where, you know, someone's like, oh, I'm gonna make Rhythm Heaven, but it's gonna be themed to HoloLive or something. I've seen a few of those types of videos. And that's literally what I know about Rhythm Heaven. Oh, and there's a monk that eats a bunch of eggs. That's the other thing I know about Rhythm Heaven. It's literally the two things. Most of those videos are based on the remix levels. That would make a lot of sense given the amount of variety that they have. It's really hard not touching coins. Either way, it's something I'll see what I want to do and how much I want to do with it when I actually get to it. I still also need to bug Zuccotti and get his requests straightened out of the possible and into the realistic realm. Conditional requests are something I may not actually continue doing. Makes things tricky down the road. Okay, that worked. It shouldn't have, but it worked. Wait for it to wiggle. You know what? I'm fine with that. Coins! What is this track from? It's starting to bug me. Is it Celeste? I'm trying to figure out if I've played this game before. I don't think it's Baba Is You. I wouldn't find for another lap. Actual Baba music? Huh. Kind of got those two games, at least musically, wrapped up in my head in a similar place, because I played them around the same time in the same location. Most recently. Which is to say, my sister's basement. On the East Coast. Chrono Trigger samples? Oh, okay, that would explain some of the massive familiarity there. Retry would have been so nice here. But the sections are short. Yeah, one of those games I really should revisit, but the problem with revisiting certain classes of puzzle game is, like, you can't really use your progress from before. You have to really restart. And Baba Is You, like, in addition to an awful lot of Zachtronics games, is one of those class of games where you have to start over because you're just not going to remember all the things and tricks you use to beat the levels, which you need to know to beat later levels. Like, every once in a while I think about trying to play Space Chem again. And Space Chem, you just have to start at the beginning. All of the tricks and tools you learn, you'll need them again. At some point. No. And space chem reaches a point where it's just really friggin' difficult. Once you end up synthesizing synthetic chemical or synthetic elements, it becomes really tricky. Like, one of those things I always took for granted in space chem was my ability to do factory layouts. And in fact, I often abused factory layouts to a great extent when building things. Which was not an option when in that particular realm, because the factory layouts were fixed. You could not control where the inputs and outputs were going, and you couldn't control the routing yourself. Which often made it so you didn't have to deal with byproducts, bizarrely enough. I also found a lot of tricks to avoid using some of the mechanics they actually handed us. Normalizing things by using various classes of grip. I think I can make that. But, like, the trick in my case was you abusing the fact that the certain shapes of certain molecules, you could guarantee you would either be gripping it or not gripping it on a given route through the factory. If they did not share all of their spaces. Which sounds weird, but makes a lot of sense when you consider the fact that Space Chem is effectively a gamified version of Bafunge. And Bafunge is a cool programming language. I guess really it's in a class of funges. Would probably be the more pure way to phrase it. I have been through this section so many times, and I still see the coin as not death. And I'm absolutely certain that's like, I'm 2 jumps away after I get to that other falling platform. Shoot. Screwed up the jump. You can kind of tell that the creator of this is definitely more in a Kaizo state of mind, given how the level flows. Wait for the Fugu to do its Fugu things. Coins! It's not Mario that's questionable, it's MARO. Yep. That's what I read at first. I didn't even notice the question mark next to MARO at the very beginning. It's question MARO. Rotate. Every time I touch one of those coins, I just die inside. Because I know better after all of these, but I still don't see them as obstacles after so many years of Mario. Alright, beverage time. Now, somewhat annoyingly, I still have to do some packing tomorrow. Kind of grown to appreciate packing the night before, and I'm basically having everything except the stuff I need the day of the flight already in the bag by the door. But because of how I did my laundry, I did the wrong set of laundry yesterday, and instead had all the laundry which I needed to wait to dry for a while. The stuff I actually line dry. It's hanging out right now. I'm toast. Because it's line drying, I can't actually go and throw it into the luggage or else it'll become moldy, so. But it'll be done line drying soon enough. I'll pack up in the morning. It's one of those things where if this was a fast retry level, I would not mind the coins as much. But somehow, just somehow. There we go. Kind of wonder what happens when you reach 0 to some extent, but I also don't want to do it manually. But yeah, I think this level has a Kaizo nature in terms of what it wants me to do and how it wants me to do it. Right, I can't do that. I keep thinking, I thought I could do that at one point, but I think I need to come up with more velocity. Nope, dupe. Keep hoping to hit that right. There's not much more I can say about this small section of level. I need to just get past this. It is driving me nuts. And, like, I know what to do, mostly. I just need to be more precise. Yeah, I'm still uncertain about, like, audio capture on Macs. I know it's possible, and I remember setting it up, like, forever ago, but I also found it really annoying. I think I do install, like, an extra thing that would allow me to separate out desktop versus microphone audio, and you think this would be an easy enough task. Like, Macs were always sort of touted as this multimedia production platform, and yet, for some reason, it's easier to do this kind of thing in OBS and Windows. And I'm not sure why. Right, I still have to make that jump that way. It's all like 2 jumps. Just 2 jumps. You know, that actually might be an easier way to get onto that platform than what I'm doing. But yeah, the more I think about this, the more I think, you know what? If this is a Kaizo person, I should just go fast. Stopping and thinking is probably to my detriment. If I hadn't regrab jump there, that would have worked. I'm actually kind of liking this strat. Just stop trying to overthink the level and just run for it. You know, except there where I need to stop and jump. But, you know, the concept remains. The fact the 2 Fugu end up at roughly the same height, I feel is a really good indicator. And that's it? That's the end of the level? I spent so long 3 inches away from the finish line. How you feeling, Dark Souls? Why wait? You know, that'd probably be good advice for Dark Souls. I definitely started rushing past things after a certain point. And gave up on the slow and steady route. Especially when I was going to go kill Havel, I think. Or the man with the really suspiciously shaped sword. Alright, let's roll another number. That was something. That took me way too long.